Hi everybody and welcome back to Minecraft in Tuxedos. I'm 4040 and today's episode we're going to have a little look at my enchanting store that I've built, and I'm going to give a little bit of a channel update to let you guys know what's been going on recently. So first off, let's have a look at the enchanting store. So it's one story building with like a half underground kind of basement area that's still in kind of progress. The outside theme, basically nice and simple bricks, nice and clean lines. Really liked the nether quartz, so I've used quite a bit of that just to decorate the exterior. And we've got a little garden area here. Now, on the outside, I've got these kind of corner panes of purple glass. Because it's an enchanting store, I thought that the purple glass worked quite well with kind of like the concept that kind of raw magic or would be kind of like coursing through the building. So I thought, well, this is going to be a build based on magic and enchanting, so my inspiration from reading a couple of Terry Pratchett novels at the time when I started building, so I've decided to build something which was very, very lightly themed on the Great Library in Unseen University. And as you can see from these signs, welcome to the library, enchanting books for sale, sponsored by Unseen University, a 4040 build. I very much wish that we could have like custom NPCs, because I totally have the librarian sat up here on top of one of the bookcases. So we come inside the store and straight away you see that there's just a massive glass roof. Couldn't do a big circular thing. I thought a big triangle thing looks a bit better. I did play with a few ideas. The plot size that I had kind of did limit how much floor space I'd have. So a square design would give me the most amount of floor space that I could have. The lighting, again, themed by kind of the Terry Pratchett series, that in the library a lot of the lamps and hanging braziers had a corona of octarine light around them that could only be seen by wizards, and octarine is described as kind of being an off purple colour. So that's why you've got lots of purple in the corners and around the light. So as you come up here, we've got our different sections in the library. So we've got weapons upgrades. Pretty much all the spare books are in. Let's see, have we got any spare books hanging around? No, those all seem to be empty. What have we got? Flame. There's going to be some spare books around somewhere, or have they been purchased? We've been open for a day, and I know a few of the Team Tuxedos members have been interested in a few things. Sharpness. Yeah, here we go. So we've got spare books in the chest. So the general aim of the game is that you can take the book out of the picture frame, but we prefer for you to check, see if there's any spare ones in the chest first, and then once picture frames disappear from the walls, once the books disappear from the walls, then I know to try and replace them. Thing is, with enchanting, it's a little bit random what you get, so yeah, stock will change. A lot of these books are priced partly on the availability, as in if we've only got one, it will be slightly more expensive than if we had like 7, like we have with Sharpness 1. And also with the rarity of drops. So things like where's Aqua Affinity is one of the rarer drops that is hard to get hold of, although it's quite a low level thing in its own right. So Aqua Affinity, because it's a rare drop, you don't see it very often, is more higher priced than something of an equivalent level that's a lot more kind of on that level. Currently the payment system is, for example, payment plan 1 is either half a stack of iron, 10 gold or 1 diamond, and you would leave the payment in the chest. So Fire Protection 3 is currently payment plan 4, and payment plan 4 you'd read across here, so you'd either put a stack of quartz, 40 gold or 20 diamond in, and yeah, there's quite a lot of high level here. Here you go, Aqua Affinity payment plan 4, so that's very hard to get hold of. It's taken quite a while for us to get even just the basic level of Aqua Affinity 1. Don't know why, just the way it's kind of dropping really. The top end of the payment plan I'm going to be tweaking, making it a bit more cheaper. A few of our Tuxedos members have commented that some of the payment plans at the top end are quite a bit more expensive than they would have assumed. So I'm going to tweak that down a little bit. I don't mind reducing the prices if people feel it's perhaps a little bit unreasonable. That's no problem at all. I'm always welcoming on feedback. So this is the main library area, so it's just lots of books. It's taken forever because each bookcase takes up tons of leather, and breeding cows takes forever, etc, etc. So this is the underfloor area. Currently not quite finished. This is where I am planning on moving the enchanting area so that I can do my enchanting of my books kind of in-house. Currently the books and the enchanting are all being made and done in the house, which is in the village just next door. So it's not too far away, but it's a little bit of a walk. But then again, it means I can stockpile stuff, bring things over, and then stock up. So yeah, it's no longer a building site. It's no longer got a big fence around it saying caution, kind of like magical protective gear must be worn at all times. Now it's a fully contained building. I'm going to be working on decorating the outside a little bit more. I've tried not to do too much here because there's a few chests and a crafting table right on this bit here. So I was working on the premise that somebody perhaps has reserved this plot here, or this plot and this plot. So not quite sure, 100% sure what's going on, but decided to limit how much decoration I'm doing on here. And this is the back side, and unfortunately right underneath here is the animal pens, which are accessed via this road here. There we go. So I can't really do too much because in some places the ceiling is only 1 block thick, and I do quite like having my little streams and my little standing pools of water. So I was just going to leave that. I mean, if somebody wants to do a build on there as well, I don't want the footprint of this building to be too huge. And again, this is just a little well, I guess little garden area, you could say. I'd like a few more flowers to be around. It's kind of extended out this way because this little area here is actually quite small. Although I'm very happy just to kind of bring this lot back in line, back to about here. If somebody does want to build something small here, that's no problem. So that's a very brief guided tour of the library. Might be doing a few tweaks to it. It depends on how much time I've got, and that's going to bring me very, very neatly to a channel update, so I can let you guys know what's going on. So, in the last few months, in the last year really, I've been living away from home on a job, in rented accommodation with my other half, and it's really awesome being with my other half, but it's kind of time for me to move on from being in a temporary job and kind of temporary accommodation really, to basically deciding what I'm going to do for here on in for the next few years. And I've decided that I would like to, well, I've always wanted to, but I wanted to go back to university and study something that interests me and would help me move forward in any kind of career I choose to have. So I've applied to university, and I'm going to be going to university in Cardiff, which is, from where I am currently, it's about an hour's drive, so it's not so far away. Still get to come and say hi to people who are in the local area. I'm really, really excited about going to university, going to basically move to Cardiff, and hopefully, as I'm going to Cardiff, I'm going to be able to have a little bit, well, university's going to take up quite a lot of my time, but it's probably going to take up about the same amount of time as the job I'm working here is currently taking me up. In other words, kind of working in the daytime and occasionally working nights and evenings to catch up with work or whatever. But I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough free time while at university to be able to work on YouTube stuff. And the other bonus point of me going to university is that the course itself is kind of semi-related to what I do on YouTube, because here on YouTube it's a gaming channel, do computer games and reviews and looking at cool new stuff, and my course is computer games design. So I'm hoping that maybe one and the other will help create content, and it kind of all ties in with each other very neatly, as opposed to having a course that's completely unrelated. So I'm hoping that will be able to provide some kind of interesting stuff. There's cool stuff over there in the distance too. Hopefully it'll be a really cool, interesting course. It's a 3-year-long course. But the other added bonus of moving to a big city, moving to Wales as capital, is that my internet is going to be one hell of a lot more stable, because currently I have a hard time playing multiplayer games, especially in co-op with other Team Tuxedo's members, and I really like playing things like War Thunder and online games with the community, things like PlanetSide, World of Warships, all those cool games that I haven't had many videos of, but I have mentioned a couple of times that my internet's a little bit wobbly. Some days it's perfectly fine. Today seems to be a good day. On other days it can be quite bad, where I have drops all the time. The local companies are all upgrading to 4G here, and I'm currently on... So every time 3G is stable, it's fine, but the internet load isn't particularly great, because I'm having to use phone-based internet as opposed to actually having a hardline, because we're not allowed hardlines in the flats where we are. It's kind of sucky, but there's absolutely shit. Ow! What? I survived that? Jesus Christ! I thought I was dead. Yay for the power of... I think I've got feather falling boots. Have I got feather falling boots? I have got feather falling. Yay! Yay for feather falling. Thank you, Sassy. So, yeah, internet here is... Some days can be very bad and can completely upset what I want to record. And my workload here over the summer has been quite heavy, having to work nights, having to work days, sometimes having to work for 4 days straight, as in literally sleeping, working, eating, and generally living at my workplace, getting paid for doing specific work, but not getting paid for being there, and basically having to babysit different things and stuff. So it's going to be hopefully a really nice change, moving to somewhere where I'm going to have a decent internet. I'm still going to be really close to my other half, and I'm going to be able to hopefully be able to do a lot more cool content, a lot more cool online stuff with Team Tuxedos, and hopefully things like, for example, we just finished our Kerbal Space Program PvP Series 3. And that's the most popular series on my channel, and it's, if you guys haven't kind of had a look at it, well worth a good look at, where it's a competitive series where different members pass the save file around with each other and fight each other for resources and land in Kerbal Space Program. Most popular series, and it's just finished, and we are having a little bit of a switch up on players. We've got one new player, another player's dropped out, which is, perfectly fine. Different people have different commitments. And Kerbal Space Program is one of the most complicated, time-consuming, and difficult things to record on my channel. I can't just record it in one go. Usually, it's multiple sittings. Recording sessions take usually up between 6 and 8 hours in total, and then editing can take, and specifically heavy episodes like season finales, or when there's a big fight going on, editing can take a long time too, up to and including about 8 hours. Sometimes an entire day can be put on editing. So, but it's my most popular series, and I really enjoy Kerbal Space Program, so I'm not going to be giving up on it. We've got Series 4 in the works. Now, the plan for Series 4 is that we're currently the best way to put it is we are in testing. So we've upgraded our version of KSP to the latest version of KSP, and we're going through all of the list of mods that we would like, and the list of mods that we feel that we need, because it's 2 lists, and we're basically trying to work out the best combination of mods which would give us the best amount of performance with the least amount of memory usage, so less crashes, and with the most amount of content and fun. So, I mean, obviously things like BD Armory is a necessary mod because that's basically how we're going to be fighting each other, and BD Armory have literally just updated to 0.9.0, which is an amazing update. If you guys are interested in it, go and have a look. It's on the BD Armory forums. I've got links to the forums in my KSP series stuff, so if you're interested in that, go and check it out. New update, brilliant new cool stuff. So Series 4, I'm hoping, will be kicking off, will be going live once I have moved to university, which will be happening in... blah blah, let's have a think about that. In about 4 or 5 weeks I'll be moving, and then we're going to be doing a load of recording so we have a nice backlog of episodes, and then we'll start releasing things for KSP, PvP, with a... no, I'm not going out there. No, close it. There you go. With a release schedule of, I'm hoping, of about 2 weeks per episode. So we have plenty of time to work on editing. We have plenty of time to work on our backlog. And if there's any particularly large problems, because we will have a backlog of basically videos already built up and hopefully already edited, then if there is a screw up or somebody goes on holiday, if there's a massive crash, these things do happen, and having a backlog built up will mean that for us the series won't be impacted too badly, and we'll just have to work hard on regaining the backlog once we've got the problem sorted out. So yes, KSB PvP Season 4 is on the way. It's going to be, you're probably looking at maybe about 4 weeks or so, maybe, before you folks start seeing content start appearing, but then it will be regularly updated. So hopefully you guys will really enjoy that. We're still working on Subnautica. Subnautica has released a load of really cool build stuff to do with bases. Bit reluctant on building bases in Subnautica though, because every time they do an update, if it's anything to do with terrain and you just generally don't know what's going on with the terrain, this build area is cool. I really like this. A big water wheel. That's really cool. I like that. Interested to see what this is. Obviously it's half built, but that looks so cool. Alright. What's up here? So, with Subnautica, building a base, I'm going to start building a base, but collecting resources is going to be time consuming. There's a lot of really cool stuff though with that one. There are other things like Ark, which I am still going to be working on. Ark is constantly updating itself in a really good way. They are doing lots of bug fixes, adding loads of new dinosaurs in, adding lots of end content in as well, which I'm not at because I'm kind of playing it on my own at the moment due to playing single player. But we've still got Dilo the Dino, who will be joining us on more episodes. Along with that, once we go back to Cardiff, I'm hoping that I can do some more Elite Dangerous gameplay and World of Warships gameplay, definitely. War Thunder, 100% War Thunder, love my War Thunder. And so, yeah, plenty of extra content coming up. But at the moment, my channel, well, you'll have to forgive my channel for being a little bit random when it comes to releasing, because of my work schedule sometimes being a bit, well, it is being a bit crazy at the moment. Summer is the most busy period of me being at work at the moment, and if we have surprise bookings, if we have accidental double bookings through no fault of my own, usually due to my my managers screwing up and me basically having to deal with the consequences, I sometimes will go, oh yeah, let's try and stick to an every 2-day release schedule, which is what it really should be, and then it goes down and down and down, and sometimes you won't see anything for perhaps a week, because all of a sudden I'm basically living at work, away from my PC, not able to do any recording, not able to do any editing, and it's all a bit frustrating, but, you know, money's money, and I'm going to be quitting, leaving. I guess quitting's kind of a negative kind of thing to say, but I'm going to be leaving work to do the university stuff, and I'm hoping, because university is going to be a lot more scheduled, I'm going to know exactly where I am, I'm going to know where all of my deadlines are going to be, so I'll be able to give you guys, when deadlines start kind of rearing their ugly heads, I can say, right guys, content's going to be a bit light this week or 2 weeks because big deadlines coming up, I need to get some work done. at least I can give you guys warning, whereas right now, sometimes I really don't have that ability to be able to give you guys warning. I'll get a text message saying, come into work now, you're in work for the next 4 days. And that's that, really. But before I go to university, I've got some really cool holidays, so I'm going to be off then. Running around the field hitting people with swords, and then I'm going to be moving, so everything's going to be in boxes. So I only have to, all I can do is really apologise that content I'm going to try my best to try and basically upload episodes, especially if I get backlogs, some backlog of episodes that I've managed to edit in some free time. But yeah, going on a big holiday and then moving house over the course of 2 weeks and getting settled in at university. Once I've got a week to get settled in and enjoy Cardiff and get to learn my way around again, because Cardiff's a city that my family traditionally comes from. I've visited it quite a few times, but I've never actually lived there, so kind of want to get settled in, and then once I'm settled in, I'll have some time, especially in the evenings, to be able to do some really cool stuff, and then basically we go straight full bore into university. Freshers Week, which I'm kind of looking forward to. There's not going to be any work on Freshers Week, but I'm going to have to be probably going into the university every day. But I know they do this kind of thing. So I've been to university before and completed university before, so it's going to be quite an expensive prospect. I have got savings. They are going to disappear on university fund. So in the next few years, hopefully hopefully I'll be able to afford everything, and I will definitely be able to keep this YouTube channel going, because getting new things, getting brand new kind of AAA games is going to possibly be a downside. I'm not going to be doing that, but I'm definitely going to be, if money's particularly tight, going to be focusing more on indie stuff, on Steam Greenlight stuff, because they're generally a lot more cheaper, and they're a lot more innovative. They're usually a lot more interesting. They're usually not as bland and absolutely terrible as some of the AAA releases recently have been. Although Dying Light has been one I have been enjoying playing a lot. Been enjoying playing Fallout 3 again, because Fallout 4 is hopefully going to be amazing, and I'm definitely going to be getting that, although I'm not pre-booking it. Not pre-booking it at all. I'm probably not, well, I don't know if I'm going to purchase it on release, because a lot of AAA companies have been releasing stuff which is purchased on release, and then it not working until they've had their first patch several weeks later. So I might hold off until basically I see some reviews, and then basically pick it up myself, and I will then have to make the decision whether I would like to play it for my own personal enjoyment, or whether I want to play it on my channel for all of our enjoyments. One thing I have pre-ordered that I'm looking forward to showing you guys is the new up and coming So it's going to be a while before it appears. It's going to be several months, but the new up-and-coming Elite Dangerous Horizons release, which is going to be being able to go down on planets, having little buggies to be able to drive around on, collect resources, find hidden sites, find ancient buried treasures, explore crashed wrecks, defeat pirate bases. There's going to be new ships. So Horizons is a paid expansion. Think of it as a yearly paid expansion. You buy Horizons and you get a year's worth of Horizon content. If you don't buy Horizons, you're still going to be getting content with the normal Elite Dangerous. And obviously bug fixes, upgrades, graphical updates, that kind of stuff is going to be translating across to the... I'm going to put old in inverted commas, but the old Elite Dangerous, the standard Elite Dangerous. And then once Horizons officially comes out, I believe that all you will be able to purchase is Horizons, and that will come with Elite Dangerous basically for free. So people like myself who've paid to have Elite Dangerous and then have paid to have Horizons for whack are kind of losing out, but then again, I'm not particularly bothered, because they could have done a subscription-based thing like EVE Online, and I'd have had to pay a hell of a lot more money per month to be able to play that, whereas Elite has been an amazing one-off payment. I've had a year of really, really good gameplay, just enjoying trading, enjoying fighting. The ships are absolutely amazing, and Horizons looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And Elite Dangerous, I've been a backer since it came out. Before it was released, I think I was an original beta backer, just after it came out of alpha and went into beta backing. And I am very happy to keep throwing money at these guys because they've delivered on a product, and I have no problems whatsoever throwing even more money at them because for a year, I've had an amazing product. It's not been glitchy. They've rebalanced a few ships. I've been enjoying quite a lot of the product. So now they're releasing a new update. I got no problem. I paid a little bit of extra. Well, kind of. Their payment plan for it is if you're an existing elite owner, you get the content with £10 knocked off. So if you buy the basic content, you'll get it when it comes out of beta phase. You'll get Horizons when it drops out and it's officially released for £10 cheaper. So it's basically like a 20 quid expansion. Yeah, just over 20 quid expansion. Or you do what I've done, which is buy the expensive version, which gets you beta access. So I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on and giving feedback to the game developers on how it works. If I find any bugs or if I'm not happy with a particular thing, you know, they really do listen to their stuff and they are very active. Even the guy who, you know, owns Elite Dangerous, who runs Elite Dangerous, actively comments and with his community. And let's see if I've got any posts. It doesn't look like I've got any posts. My post box is the end one. So looking forward to that. I generally just don't do pre-orders, but this one I'm on the hype train. I want to throw money at this company. I want the company to do well, and this is my way of supporting the company. And also I get beta access, which means I can show you guys what Horizons initially might be looking like once we've got the beta access up and going. So that's going to be absolutely awesome for the channel. You get a sneak preview what it looks like. I'm going to get access to a new ship, which is the Cobra Mark IV. I don't think you get given it for free, but I think it then becomes available for you to purchase, and it comes with like a special cargo for the buggy that you can go down off the planet and drive around on, and I can imagine so many cool things. And they're planning on doing different variations of the buggy, so I can see them doing like a mining buggy and like an exploration buggy, maybe with like long range sensors and stuff on to pick up things or find hidden things in valleys and gullies and stuff. That it even says that you're gonna need to use your buggies because the spaceship's sensors aren't configured to work properly in an atmosphere or down on a planet because of the high gravitation and magnetics that planets and moons and things generate. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. You're driving around in huge tanks or little fast nimble buggies doing races. I think the expansion is going to be huge, and so does a lot of the communities. So that's a little channel update, and hopefully I've just been wandering around the village just looking at some cool stuff. This is Tort's hospital that has been officially opened, so that's pretty cool. Go to Tort's channel. Team Tuxedos, there'll be links down in the bottom. Yeah, there'll be links down at the bottom, and well, we're back where we started, so thank you very much for watching. I've been 4040, you guys have been amazing as usual. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Please leave any comments, suggestions, ideas, or just generally want to chat to me down in the chat in the bottom. And if you've enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up button. It really does help my channel out. And if you're not subscribed and you did enjoy the episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's going to be a whole load of extra content coming up, but like I say, content over the next month is going to be a bit spotty, and I apologise for that, due to massive workloads, moving and holidays before I get settled in, and hopefully the content will become a lot more regular. But well, I'll see you in the next video, and thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye now.